Anybody else got something we can pop in or
Eddie,
talk about them? Hey, yes.
Eddie, how about we get Martin from the UK up and let's find out what's going on across the pond.
Okay, Martin from the UK. All right, Martin, say a few words here, sir. Hello, Martin. Hello, Martin.
Hello, Eddie. Sorry about that. I knew you would end up doing this to me. I've brought a couple of other guys from the UK. You'll have seen me add them in tonight because I've realised that if they're up and they're awake, I can actually go into participants and invite them in. So there's a couple of guys joined us tonight. Martin Pigeon's with us. Martin spent an awful lot of time in America demonstrating and showing. Unfortunately, he had a stroke a couple of years back, so he can't really communicate very well, but he totally loves being part of the American groups, and he's forever asking me what Zoom groups he can get involved in. Over here, we are very much exactly the same as you are over there. We've lost an awful lot of what you guys call the symposiums. We just call them our fairs, really. We have a couple of large ones in the UK, Harrogate and Newark shows, and both of them are cancelled, and a lot of our wood clubs are cancelled. So as I was saying earlier on, the network of people that are communicating now on Zoom in groups like this is absolutely fantastic because it gives us the opportunity to come over the water and be with you guys, and you guys can come over the water and be with us. And it opens a huge number of demonstrations and different ways that people can communicate and get together. I've been coming along to this meeting since you started, I think, Eddie, but I've always sat sort of quietly in the corner. Coming to this meeting, especially when I run my own in the UK, I like to try and take a back seat and just sit back and listen to all you guys, and then you can show us what you've been making, and it's really interesting because there's some very, very different techniques. Certainly with you, Eddie, you're going through what can be made in your workshop, what you can actually do, and that for us in the UK is exactly the same as what you're trying to do in the States, whereas you don't need to go and spend lots of money on tools. There's lots of things that you can make up, and there's in my opinion, there's too many turners out there that are very, very quick to sell you the new shiny thing, and quite often you don't need the new shiny thing. So yeah, we're very much the same as you guys over there. Just keep going and doing what you're doing. Build your numbers up, get people talking, pull them out, Eddie. Get them talking and showing us their work, because the more of us UK guys that come on site, the more we want to see from your Americans, from what you're turning. I've passed information on to 3 Canadians tonight. Unfortunately, none of them can be with you, but they will be joining us next week. So we'll hopefully turn the group into a multinational and a worldwide group that can really move forward.
Good. And remember,
that's enough from me.
All right. It's open to everybody, anytime, anywhere, and there's no fee. And I told you earlier, you have the key. It's on your invite. If you write the number down, it's 228-516-4811. You didn't get that, did you? But that's our code on Zoom, and there's a little automatic thing to pop to it. Just now we're talking to Martin about it, and he said, everybody wants to say you something.
All the electric companies are raising their rates, but you can stop.
Okay. Everybody wants to say you something new. I was watching a professional turner the other day, and they said, I'm going to get out my negative rake scraper and clean up this finish, because that turner knows that if you get a sharp scraper and you do it right, you'll take a better cut than some sanding does. And you'll eliminate the fuzz ups and the tears and some rips and all that. You go across it real easy. The kick I got out of it was It was a negative rake scraper that looked just like my skew. Just turned on the side. I couldn't say anything because it was a skew, and it was sharpened right, and had a good edge on it. And they went across and took a beautiful slice, and those little ribbons came up off of it. You don't get those little ribbons a lot if you're just beginning, or if you're out there hogging it in. So consider this: you probably have the tool, and one day we will show you how to do shear scraping with your gouge, as much as a bowl gouge or a roughing gouge for shear scraping. Don't put a roughing gouge in a bowl. I got to tell you right now. All right, anybody else up tonight? Go ahead and say something. We'll pop you up. I got the gala review open. If you start chatting, I got a dot over you so we can get you talking.
Eddie.
That's you, Ronnie?
Yeah, how about Miss Kim Tippin? Bring her up and let's see what she has to say. Kim went out for a beer. Oh no, she's back.
Sorry, my power went out. So I was like scrambling, trying to get everything back up again. I apologize.
No, Ronnie, you heard Ronnie just now?
Mm-hmm.
Kim?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to challenge you. If you're going to be joining us, I'd like to see you be our person with wit, women in turning, and get all the ladies to come on. Us ugly guys is not going to get a pretty lady to come on, but with you, with the wit, I'm sure we can grow with your side.
Absolutely. I'd love to try to get all the ladies that I know to come over.
Yeah, they're all invited.
Spread the word. We'll
have to give you time, and we'll call it wit for women in turning, and we'll let's hear what y'all have to say every week.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. I'm going to I'm working on another abrasive paste video. That's 3 different kinds of paste. So during that video, I can call my ladies and everybody that wants to join, because I get tons of questions, a lot of questions that I really can't answer. I don't know how to answer because I'm not really a technical turner. Kind of just go out there and do it, and if it works, then yay. And then of course if it doesn't, I went bad, so it's like, don't ever do that again. So it's really great to have a place to send people for those questions. And Eddie has always, long before I even started turning, I've obsessed about watching him and just gathering so much information from him. So a lot of how I do and what I do is because of Eddie and other turners that shared on YouTube. So I want to thank you, Eddie, so much for that. It's such a great inspiration to me.
You're quite welcome. It's a labor of love. I know what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Ronnie, you put her on a spot with that thing just now, about the women attorney thing. I was about to put her on a spot and ask her if she does a real short demonstration with using on the program, or we can go to her and let her give us a few tips or hints while we're on here.
Well, I covered both areas with one question. So we got her in wit, and we can do a short video of her doing her thing.
All right, Ronnie, I didn't realize you were an insurance salesman.
Eddie, you had asked me a while back to do like a short little video, and excuse me, I just had a Frosty. And I can't think of something that I could do in 10, 15 minutes. I'm so long-winded. I'm trapped in the house with my kids all day. I love to talk.
Right. Well, if you come up with a tip or hint, we'd like to see it. Or we're going to co-host you in. Every time you're here, we're going to co-host you in, so you can just pop in and tell us, or you got like Doug does, and Steve and Johnny and a few others, and Ron. They're all co-hosts with us, so we can pop in and get to them. But everybody's invited. Everybody's invited. So pass the word, Kim. Thank you so much.
Kim?
Hey, would you? Yes.
So one of the things that I picked up from one of your videos, and I have to go back and watch it again and again, remember how to do it. You would come up with whatever type of finish, and you said it's similar to OB Shine Juice, but you change some stuff up. And if you have time, either tonight or another week, go over that with all of us. We're always all looking for a whole new finish. And yours is really awesome.
I can explain it now if you like.
Right now. Let's go.
All right. So Frenchies is the name of the polish. It's called Frenchies, sort of after the French polish. It's French polish, if you guys know. It is made with shellac, denatured alcohol, and then sometimes oil, but mostly shellac and denatured alcohol that I know of. I went and watched a few videos of people doing the French polish on flat work. And oh my gosh, it's all by hand. They're just rubbing, and it's kind of like a friction polish is what you end up getting. So the Frenchies is formulated to be more like the French polish. If you want to take a look, go on YouTube and look up that technique. It's called the French polish. Eddie, you're probably familiar with that.
We used to use it years ago in the cabinet shop.
Yes. And amazing, oh my gosh, amazing shine they get. I mean, it looks like dimensional, the wood, when you're done. So I guess I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I seen someone post the recipe. It was exact the same ingredients as the OB Shine Juice. It was just called Frenchies. So the OB Shine Juice is equal parts of boiled linseed oil and denatured alcohol. The Frenchies is 60% shellac, 30% denatured alcohol, and 10% boiled linseed oil. Now, the problem I was having with the OB Shine Juice, and it could just be operator error, was I would get a shine after 2 or 3 coats, and then I'd put it on the shelf, and then it just kind of like dulled. It was like the wood absorbed the oil, and then it was dull. And it, like I said, it could be operator error because there are others out there who get a great finish with the OB Shine Juice. So I came across this post of the Frenchies polish, and it's also a friction polish, which means you have to build up heat. When your fingers are burning, that's when you know that you got it going, and you just keep it moving. I noticed first time I used the Frenchies, I only needed 1 coat to get the shine that I was able to get with the OB Shine Juice, and it lasted. I might be able to sneak out real quick and grab a piece to show you. I did 1 coat on that Kamani bowl that I have on YouTube, just 1 coat of the Frenchies polish, and it is still that shiny. It's an amazing mix. It's literally the same stuff as the OB. It's just a different ratio. And if you're having trouble with OB and you don't seem to get a shine, try the ratio of the Frenchies. You might be able to get it might work better for you. Like I said, it could be operator error. I never knock out the fact that I could just be doing it wrong or being too stubborn to do it right. Who knows? Another thing I want to add that I put in one of my last videos is Doug from Pole Barn and I both were having issues with, after a while, it seemed like we were just getting streaks in our, he uses OB Shine Juice and I use the Frenchies. We were both getting streaks. And so I just started doing the process of elimination. Okay, what changed? What did I start doing differently? And so I found that putting a paste wax on before you do the OB Shine Juice, it causes streaks. And that was a lot of people were asking me questions about that. And I was like, I'm getting the same thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. After you do an abrasive paste, you want to make sure you get all the wax from that abrasive paste off really well. So go over it a few times with a paper towel until the paper towel is clean. Then do your Frenchies polish or your OB Shine Juice. What's happening when you put on the polish paste, the heat that you have to build to get the OB Shine Juice or the Frenchies polish, because it's a friction polish, it's remelting down the Caranuba wax and the beeswax that's in the polish, the polished wax. And it won't emulsify with one another. Now, there was a video put out by someone who sells their own, saying that it's not possible for that to happen. But when you add heat to the mix, it does. So remember, even though the chemicals may not react with each other, the heat is what will cause them to not mix. And Carnauba wax is the hardest natural wax. And it's 140 degrees it takes to heat Carnauba wax, and 112, I think, for beeswax. So you're getting it much hotter. I mean, your fingers are burning when you're rubbing that piece to get that shine. So just hold back on the paste wax, put your OB Shine Juice on or your Frenchies polish, and then if you feel that you want to put a wax coat on it, do it afterwards. I haven't felt that I needed one. The OB and the Frenchies just really give the perfect shine without me having to add anything else to it. So it's just personal preference, but if you're having issues with streaks, keep that in mind. It's because the wax in the paste wax is reheating up, and it's trying to emulsify with the OB, and they're not going to mix well. So once I cut that out of my process, my finishing process, I got the shine back. And then of course I called up Doug from Pole Barn and said, I found out our problem. And he stopped doing the same thing, switching back to just brace of paste, then OB and Frenchies, and he's been getting his shine that he used to have right back. So it's great to figure out what you're struggling with, and it's great to help others who might be struggling with that same issue. And it seems so dumb, to me, like, oh, that's so dumb. I should have figured that out. And I'm not meaning that to be mean to anybody. It's just that's how I felt, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't figure that out. I mean, hello. So that's that. That's with the Frenchies polish. If you email me, or I can always give Eddie my email, or email Eddie the mixture, I can he can distribute that out to everybody. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, and the description of my videos, I always put all the tools I use, all of the products that I use. It's just stuff that that I can afford to buy, and that's why I put it up there. And then I also have the shellac video with Eddie Castellan's video on how to make it, and also the Frenchies polish and the recipe right underneath of it in the description of the videos. So it's always there if you want to find it.
Doug, did it help you out?
Yeah,
Doug?
that was perfect. That was perfect. The one thing
I'm going to grab. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Right.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to grab a piece to show you with just
All right.
one coat.
I'll
of
be
the
able to
Frenchies.
see you. Come on back.
Okay.
So while
I'll
she's
just grab it.
grabbed that, I picked this tip up from Al Furtado. So so it's colored pencils obviously on top. That is mesquite on the bottom. That's still pretty dang shiny, and this one's pretty old. That is OB Shine Juice covered with lacquer. So again, spin the OB Shine Juice, friction, heat it up, get your shine, and then I throw what I joked about last week, index lacquer or thumb lacquer right out of the rattle can, and I don't lose my OB Shine Juice shine when I do that.
Thank you, Doug. And folks, I wrote down index or thumb lacquer when he was talking about it, because I didn't find out what it was. And he's using a rattle can, and it's just simple as he uses index finger to put it on or his thumb to put it on. All right, Kim, we got you back again.
So this is the Kamani bowl and you can see the light hitting on it. And that is just one coat of the Frenchies. And I probably could have gotten this with the OB as well if, maybe I had Eddie over here teaching me how to use the OB properly.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It depends on the conditions of the wood, the atmosphere of when you're applying it. I know your shop is air conditioned and match the outside, just like mine.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not air conditioned. This is a African mahogany that has one coat as well.
That's got some nicer joints too. Ooh.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. I love working with it. Both of these woods I was very fortunate to work with. Yeah, it's very humid here in Florida, so I notice even some Total Boat Lust that I started using, it's not wanting to dry within the time that it says it's supposed to dry. It's what is that? It stays
Somebody's got
tacky
their
very
mic
long.
open, that's all.
Oh, okay. So it's just, yeah, it's probably because of the humidity here. Like we're 103 degrees with a 97% humidity. So it makes finishing challenging most of the time.
You experienced another power outage?
Huh?
Are you experiencing another power outage? You lost your light.
Yeah, it's just my other. I don't have a camera for my big computer, so I'm using my son's laptop.
Oh, okay. I appreciate the tips and hints tonight. Yes, ma'am.
I also do.
Uh-oh. I'm not getting you too good.
Do resin finishes, which I've been getting a lot of questions on that as well. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I also do resin finishes too, which I've been getting a lot of questions about that. And I could fill people in if you guys are interested on the resin finish process, or we could just hold off for another time.
No, I like that idea. I've done some pieces where I wish I could put something like a resin on it that I could work to a better finish. Sometimes I put a hard finish on it. I can't work it to a better gloss or better finish. I take the finish off. And that's what some folks don't realize about the OB Shine Juice. And I call it that because I got OB Lacoste showed it to me 20 years ago. And he put it on a paper towel. He was turning a Coca-Cola wine bottle stopper. And the demonstration was about a hollowed out stopper for a hidden pill thing. And he was great at Cajun stories. And he started telling the Cajun story, and he squirted that stuff on a paper towel and held it over that bottle stopper, running at about 1,500 RPMs. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, he let his hand go and he said, "That's ready." It looked like he dipped the glass.
Wow.
Because
some people just have that magic touch.
Yeah. and the oil went away, and the shellac stayed. It was beautiful. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it. Anybody else here tonight's got to hit something up for us? We got a little bit of time. We got plenty of time. I can't do the gallery on the video tonight. Somehow I loaded it wrong. I apologize for that. Talking about Johnny Hughes, and Johnny's still with us tonight. We went visiting the other day, and I wish I could pop this photograph up and show it to you. I got a picture of Johnny turning. Now, he's got a big lathe, and we were turning a little egg jar, and it was a nice piece of turning. But what I was looking at was Johnny was standing in front of a nice lathe with a clean bed. That's not what impressed me. He would not move his tool rest while the wood was moving. That's number one. And that's a great safety tip. And it's a tip that you have to put in place. Don't move that tool rest when that wood's spinning. My thing is, if you make contact, you lose the wood and maybe your face. All right? And I don't care really how good you are. Maybe it's just a great habit. Punch the button, stop the machine, adjust your tool rest so you can get it right where you need it at, push the button and get back to started. That was one feature I noticed. The other was he had a dust collection system. He didn't use it when he was making shavings, but he kicked it on when he was sanding. And I could actually see the dust coming off the sandpaper and going into the dust collector, straight around and back into the dust collector. Nothing came up, nothing went down, straight in there. And the dust collector was maybe 1.5 feet from the turning piece. He's got a good system. He's got cleanable baffles on it and such, filters, and it works very nicely. But the one that really impressed me, and I got to throw this out there, he doesn't push the start button without his face shield on. No matter what we tried that day, and Ronnie was with me, every time we asked for a tip or a hint or an idea or to see a tool being used, he's already done the turning. I just want him to hold the tool so I can show you how he's held the tool. The shield went down. Now, you put those three things together, don't move you to a rest, have good dust collection, and wear your shield, your protective gear, you're safe. You're kicking into a mode that's not nerd safe. It's just safe. And that's where we should all go. If we all went that way, I'd stop seeing pictures on YouTube of people with their hand bandaged up. Honestly, I don't want to see those pictures. If I see them, I delete the post because I've seen enough of my own damage. I don't need to see yours. Goodness gracious. Anybody else up tonight? Come on.
Question, Eddie.
All right. I think it's supposed to get you if I do this.
Okay.
Say it again.
Okay, I have a question about what you said earlier tonight about being able to print the chat, all of the chat, that you could save and print the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out how to save it or print it.
Okay, I'm going to go to chat right now, and in the lower corner, on the lower right corner, there's a little square with 3 dots. You see those little 3 dots in the chat window?
Yes.
Okay. You click on those little 3 dots, and in it, the top line says Save Chat.
Yep, sure does. Comes up. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I just didn't know how to do it.
No, that's a secret. Don't pass it around. Folks ask me, can they record this? No, because it would affect our bandwidth. That's what I'm told. But we record it, and then I edit it into blocks, and we put it on the YouTube channel. A couple of weeks ago, I said I lost the video from the 3rd or 14th, something like that. No, I didn't. It's on the hard drive right there. I didn't know what number to look for. I'm looking for what number I gave it, but the computer was talking to the computer, and they made up their own number. So that one I could probably get it in the next couple of days. I just found it today, so cut me a little slack on that, all right? Anybody else up tonight? Come on, gang.
Yeah, you talked earlier about some rings.
Yes, sir, we did.
So this is Dick from Iowa. Here's some rings that I've done for years. They're made out of actually stacked veneers, colored veneers, and different species.
I've done them out of veneers that you could buy at craft supply stores. In fact, that ring I was showing you earlier has got one red layer next to the white layer. And I can't see the blue, but I would have probably put a blue in there someplace too. But that was that less than 1/16 thick veneer material that you can buy in sheets. They come like 5x8s. They work nice. Make sure you use right glue. And I like your rings with those different colored. They stand out like that.
They call it up here.
Pardon me?
Back
Oh, I didn't see the segment it was. Come on, you're bragging now.
Well, these are the bangles that are made kind of, truly segmented, except the outside rings are solid.
All right,
that's,
man, if you
that's
did
where you
that,
call the strength from.
if you did that to rings, I was really gonna be impressed. But I really like the bangles. And if you do the inside dimension at 2 3/8 of an inch, that's a pretty common size. But here's a tip: do a rough cut and get the lady that you're going to give it to do a test fit, because you sure don't want to give her one that falls off or she can't get on. And that's the 2 3/8 of the size I got from some internet connection. And that's what I make all mine. I start with a 2-inch hole saw, and then I put it in a chuck and round out the inside, shape up the inside to be 2 3/8 of an inch diameter, and put all the finish on. And then I put it on the mandrel and do the exterior. Great idea.
So you asked about doing a ring out of it. All right. So here's a bangle, and I make the segmented piece go all the way down to 0 in the middle. Okay. So I've got really big segments, and out of the inner one I make a ring. Out of the next size up, I'll make a napkin ring, and then on the outside part, I'll make the bracelet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody tell you you're just a dog? I mean, that's just that is beautiful work. You know, some folks don't think about the shop scraps that'll make napkin rings.
Beautiful, no waste. That's great.
Yeah. Really nice. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you sharing it with us tonight. Napkin rings.